Homicide rates are down in the Glass City, but city leaders are still working on new plans to make the city even safer. And City Council will decide on a new 5-year proposal from the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Safety next week. Michael Sandlin joins us in studio with more on this. So you've looked at this proposal.
Yeah, Jeff, so the Peace in Motion plan is a 5-year comprehensive plan from Muncie looking to reduce gun violence across the board by 20%. And they plan to do so with a community-focused, holistic approach.
How do you prevent someone from pulling the trigger? Is it diversion classes, education, community investment? Malcolm Cunningham and the team at Muncie have decided the answer is actually all of the above, looking to interrupt the cycle of violence, invest in infrastructure, and dismantle systems of inequity, all with one plan.
I think we always have to set high goals and shoot to reach those goals.
That's George Sarantu, one of the city council members who will vote on this proposal next week. It's the data-driven approach that has Sarantu talking, identifying the neighborhoods and people in Toledo most affected by violence, and then uplifting them in every way possible. In this case, the city's data shows African Americans are most often affected, with black men disproportionately dying more than any other group. In the short term, the plan calls for outreach, but not just to neighborhoods and schools. Now, it would mean going into hospitals.
We're touching all bases. You know, the hospitals are great resources, emergency rooms for information, because they deal with those gunshot victims immediately.
Another part of the plan calls for enriching our youth. Muncie has taken a look at which neighborhoods expose children the most to violence, and they plan on adding youth fellowship and leadership programs in those areas to reduce direct exposure and give them positive influences.
What can we do to stimulate interest and help them overcome the addiction of turning to violence?
But Muncie wants to do more than just prevent violence right before it happens. They want to tackle the root cause, poverty. That's why part of the city's plan calls for working to increase median household income and home ownership in core neighborhoods.
We have a Department of Economic Development, and we have to work to develop more good-paying jobs with benefits. That's the only way you're going to bring people out of poverty.
And finally, they want to help families rebuild through the Healing and Compassion Fund, looking to offer a $2,000 stipend to help cover expenses, repairs, and funeral costs for families of recent victims, going back to September of last year. These are just a few key pieces in a very involved strategy, but Sarantu says it's one plan he believes in.
We've made progress on the homicide rate, but we need to do a lot more, and I think this approach over the next 5 years will do very well for the city.
Now, you might be wondering, how is all this going to get paid for? Well, Sarantu says most of it is already available with our current budget, and the rest would be covered through grants, meaning taxpayers hopefully wouldn't notice a difference. Now, City Council will be voting on this on Tuesday during their regular meeting. We'll keep you updated on if it passes. In studio, I'm Michael Sandlin, WTOL 11.